Welcome, everyone. It's Kathleen Woodhouse, and thanks for coming to the Big Bold Live coaching and consulting. This is great. I'm trying a new technology today. Last time I used a little bit different, so bear with me if we have any technical issues, but I'm glad you're here and glad you're watching. I'm excited to bring you the Big Bold Business. Today is a training with Q&A, and I want to show you how you can create your vision, plan your year, and upgrade your habits, and it will help you to reach your business goals. So again, I'm Kathleen Woodhouse, and I want you to know three things before we get started. Three things about me is I used to struggle with my career. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I was good at. I knew I wanted to make an impact, but I really didn't know how. I just knew I wanted to help people, and I didn't really see my gifts and the value that I could bring to the marketplace. And then I created a process to help me to determine my life purpose, asked myself several questions, did a lot of writing, and just really figured out what was right for me, and determined that that was to help women to build confidence in themselves. And so I've helped hundreds of women over the past 10 years to find their life purpose, build their confidence, and to reach their career and business goals. And so my passion is inspiring women to believe in themselves and to use their unique gifts to help others in their career and in their business. So today I'm going to share with you how to get started in creating your big vision and how to plan your year in line with that vision, and then how you can upgrade your habits to maximize your energy and your time. So you'll also discover three simple ways that you can live your vision even faster. So actually making it, come to life. And a counterintuitive way, it may seem, that you can create even more time in your schedule. And then one thing that you should always make time for that can help you to increase your energy and better serve your clients in your business. So I'm also going to be offering a chance to work with me for those who want to. I will make an offer at the end of this training, and this will be the first time that I've actually taken my 10 plus years of confidence coaching and taken it to a large group in a business coaching program with over $5,000 in gifts. And whether or not you get this offer, you'll still get value from this webinar. So this is a little bit different live training because it actually gives you what you need before you create your business goals. So a lot of times trainings will start with, what are your goals first? And so this is going to allow you to do the steps that you should take even before you actually are writing down those goals. And I'm going to guide you step by step so that you can create your vision, your plan for the year, and start to upgrade your habits. And if you're already doing well, then maybe you'll just learn some new strategies that will help you to get even better results. So I want to make sure you're in the right place. So if this resonates with you, and let me know in the chat, you can, respond in the chat and ask questions in the chat. And if it does, I will know that this is, for you. If you have a business or you want to start a business, but you feel overwhelmed and maybe trying to do everything by yourself, you really don't know how to get started or actually get results, then this is for you. If you are someone who knows that you're meant to help others, but maybe you spend a lot of time on other trainings and trying to figure out what you should offer, who you should work with, and you're maybe not making progress and the impact that you want, then this is for you. And if you feel like you spend more time in trainings and webinars and buying those programs than you do actually implementing the information, and maybe you feel like you're in the same place that you were 6 months ago or a year ago, or maybe even longer, then this is the training for you to help you get moving. So if this sounds like you want to make an impact, you want to, maybe you find yourself worrying about doing the right things in the right order, you're not sure what to do, and you want to make an income so that you can have time freedom. And maybe, you want to be so comfortable in your own life that you can also give to your community and a larger cause. But maybe there's something stopping you. I know that's always been my vision, is to, not just take care of myself, but to really contribute. And I know a lot of the clients that I help have big hearts and they want to serve in their community and beyond. And so, my vision is very global. And, I've even met people in other countries that are, other coaches, and I love working with them as well. And, I know that that's the kind of people that want to, work with me and want to really make a difference in the world. So if you answered yes to those questions, you're definitely in the right place. So I want to share a little bit about why you should listen to me. So I mentioned a little bit about how I didn't really know what it was I wanted to do. So when I finally figured it out, that what my purpose was, I started over 10 years ago. I started coaching and was so excited. I finally found, what my purpose is. And, I knew it for sure. And in my heart, it was like, okay, this is great. And I know I'm doing the right thing. So I'm out there. I was networking. I was, taking trainings and learning and trying to help clients. But it just wasn't enough. I wasn't putting it all together and I wasn't getting the progress that I really wanted. And so I needed a better plan of action. And so I finally did what every entrepreneur hates, and I got a job allowing me to get the financial support I needed. And then I got an even better job that helped me to continue to serve clients and gain even more experience and pay for the training that I needed to learn in the business. So then I'm thinking, okay, I have it all. I have the trainings, and maybe, like I said earlier, maybe you're someone who's collecting trainings and you think that's the answer and it's going to solve everything. And so, I had the money, I had the knowledge, I had the experience, and then was still struggling. And so I know that some of you can relate to this. And so I felt like I worked so hard, but I wasn't getting the traction that I needed. I felt like I tried everything I could with what I had, but it just wasn't working. And, the phrase, do what you love and the money will follow. Well, here I am teaching to follow your passion and purpose over and over, right? And this just wasn't true, that it doesn't just magically come, So I had to put the pieces together and create a system that allowed me to move forward to reach my goals so that I could serve more people and make the impact that I truly desire. And so after trying and reading books and listening to trainings and filling in worksheets, those are only a piece of what I needed. And so it was the information, not that transformation and the implementation of that work. And so I really learned the difference. And I'm sure you feel that way. It's like, oh, I finally know how to do all these things, but it's not the same as actually doing it. I gave the example the other day of, like, you could read a book of fishing, you can watch somebody fish, you can see it on TV and see these great, fish being caught, but it's not the same of you actually, going out there and learning how to actually do the moves, right? Like, you can watch singers on TV and judge them, but it's not the same as you actually trying to sing that song and knowing what notes to hit and how to breathe and everything else, right? And it's the same with business. There are certain steps that you have to take and certain a process that you have to follow. You have to do the right things in the right order to be able to actually make that progress. And so I learned that partnering with an accountability partner, as well as virtual coworkers and a mastermind group, really gave me the support I needed to reach my goals. And so I always knew how important it was to have the right support, but I didn't realize how much faster, I could actually implement these things. And so for my transformation, I overcame the overwhelm that I was feeling, the technology challenges, learning new programs and putting everything together. It's a lot of work. So I feel your pain. I learned how to create my offer, to package my products, and overcame my hate for social media. I won't say fear of it. I just never liked it. And so I've, overcome that so I could really serve and, share my gifts. And I've even started posting on YouTube and sharing these live events, as well as emailing, my list as well. So I know a lot of you struggle with trying to balance all of those things. And I just want you to know I understand. I've been there. So I've always been afraid of not having enough time. That was one of my biggest fears, is because along with my impact, I truly desire that time freedom, and that's one of my greatest values. So being part of the right coaching program gave me the right information and hope for my vision, but the community of support that I've created has really helped me to create the success I need in implementing and creating my personal habits, has given me more freedom to reach my goals. And so it seems like the opposite, but doing more and more structured actually has given me that time. And so now it's your turn. I want to show you how implementing your ideas in a clear plan of action followed by upgrading your habits and surrounded by a community of support, can help you to grow your business even faster than doing it alone. So I don't want you to do it alone for sure. Let me see if there's any comments in the chat here as well. I just want to check in on that. Hey, Melinda, good to see you. If you are here, feel free to post in the chat or ask a question. But let's get started with number one, your vision. So I told you I wanted to share how you could create your vision. And so I'm going to give you several questions that you can ask to help you to start creating this big picture. So the first thing is, who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with males or females, children, families, seniors, adult students? Who is it that you truly love working with? Who is it that you would, be excited to work with? Is it an individual, a group, a small group, or a large, or is it a variety? I love a variety of things. I love my job to have a variety within it. I don't like to do the same thing every day. I'm always changing things up. And, even my outfits, and Melinda can tell you that. She laughs at me because I change all the time. But think about, that's something I value, is variety. What is it for you? Do you like to do the same thing and be very consistent? Do you like that variety? Think about the age range. Who is it that you want to work with? How do you want to help them? Like, what do you actually want to help them do? So hopefully you're writing these down so you can think about these a little bit more, but you can think about them as we go as well. What are their wants and needs? What are their goals and desires? What is it that they're their vision? What are they trying to reach? And think about what you're good at. I mentioned your gifts, and I want you to think about what it is that you actually, that you're actually good at. What are your gifts? Because those are the things that you should be using to actually help others. Those are the things that you want to be doing. So think about their fears, what frustrates them, and then, on your side, like I said, using your gifts, but also thinking about what you enjoy, what gets you moving, what would wake you up excited and get you out of bed. Those are the things you want to really be thinking about when you're trying to create this new vision. And where are you going to do this? Are you going to do this in person? Nowadays, a lot of things, right, we're online, but some are in person. So think about what is best for you. Is it online or offline, and where are they? Is it local or international? These are the kind of questions you really want to start asking so that you can really define who you're working with, rather than just saying, oh, I'm coaching or I'm helping people. I get a lot of people that are very general. I do a lot of one-on-ones and meet people through networking, and a lot of times it's not defined. So if you're feeling like you're not sure like who it is that you're really trying to work with, these are some questions that will help you. And then you want to think about, when do you have the time? So you're trying to create your offer and create this package. You want to know what your schedule is like. Where do you have the time to fit this in? And when do you want to accomplish it by? So you want to think backwards in terms of when will it end. So for instance, yesterday I scheduled a 9-week program that I'm leading, and I wanted to have it done, before Thanksgiving. So I wanted to, count the weeks backwards to make sure that I finished and knew I could start, the second week in September and still finish it before Thanksgiving. So you want to think in terms of, how long the programs are, like that you need to, you need to know how long it'll take, right? And that comes with your expertise. After you've been working with your clients, you kind of will know how long you need for different situations and what you're trying to do. That does take a little time to get adjusted, but you want to think about, is this with business coaching and support, that's going to be a long-term thing. So, that's why I created a year-long program, whereas, maybe helping somebody to determine just what their ideal client is, maybe you can do that in a session or two, right? So you want to think of the terms of what the problem is and how long it will take, and how often you're going to meet them. So those are some of the things that you can be asking. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get more to the planning part. And then you want to think about why. And a lot of times, now everybody talks about, what's your why? I hear that all the time. This is not the why that I'm actually talking about here, though. I mean, it's important and it relates to it, but I want you to really make sure that it's what you desire and what your clients need as well. So what you're creating is not just your motivation. Like, part of my motivation I mentioned was about that time freedom, right? So that's not necessarily what's going to be what I'm creating for somebody, right? Like, so you want to know the difference of thinking about the why you're doing it for them, not just because you saw somebody else doing it, right? You have to really know who you are and what your business is, who your clients are, and make sure that you're designing something that is going to work for them. So, make it make sense for you and for your clients, again, not just because somebody else is doing it. Oh, everybody's doing it, right? Like, we learned that when we're young. That's not the best answer, or reason to do something, right? You have to really think about the reasoning, okay? And so you want to grow a business that you love in the end. You don't want it to be too much or something that you hate or that you don't like waking up to, right? You want to create this thing for you and design it for what makes sense for you, okay? And then ask yourself, is it in line with your gifts, your values, and your purpose? So I do a lovely passion and purpose session to help women to find their natural gifts, their core values, and their life purpose. And that's so important in business as well. It's important for all individuals, I believe, but in business, it helps you with your branding as well. You want to make sure, again, that you're doing things you love. And so if you're using your unique gifts and, those are natural and easy for you to do, you're going to love doing it. I love speaking and I love writing and encouraging women. And so, I love my work, right? Because that's in line with who I am. It makes sense. My purpose is to encourage women to know their gifts and reach their goals. And so I get to do that. And when I'm in line with that, there's so much joy. And so, think about what you're doing again. And, is it in line with who you are, what you value? And then, is it actually going to help who you're meant to serve? So really be thinking about that. I've worked with some women who will say, like, oh, I was thinking about, doing this kind of coaching, or I was doing this. And it's like, well, that's great. I know coaching is wonderful. I love it, right? Like, I coach, but it's not for everybody to do just because it's something that's popular, right? Like, you really have to know who you are and what you're meant to do, and then think about those people that you're meant to serve and what's the best way to do that. Now, I moved from just coaching to consulting because I was answering so many specific questions about business that it wasn't all just a coaching process of them discovering themselves, right? There was more to it, that where I was actually giving specific advice, and so that's more of a consulting role. So make sure that you're thinking about what's best for you and your clients. All right, your vision should make you smile. I mentioned the joy that I get, and I love helping women to reach their goals and build confidence in themselves. And, it just brings me so much joy, and it excites me. And that's what I want for you as well. So it should be something you look forward to and get you moving, and not something general, just like, I just want to help people. I used to say that, and now I'm like, oh my goodness, like I knew nothing, because again, I've been doing this over 10 years, and everybody I've worked with wants to help people. I believe we're designed to help people, right? In some way. You could fix my computer and you're helping me. You can fix, my air conditioning, you're helping me. You can, help me with my business and help me reach my goals, and you're helping me. There's different ways you can help, but you want to be very specific on who you want to serve and how you want to help them. What problem do you want to solve? So not just, oh, I love to help people. And then again, where can you help them? Where are they? So just a little tip on that, you can create a vision board. I do a vision board workshop that's also included as a bonus in the Big Bold Business program, but you can create that to help you to really solidify and visualize and, start to picture what your life is that you want, what kinds of things do you want to bring into your life. And that will help you with your vision as well. And then you can script it too. You can write out exactly what you want as if it already happened. You can, journal and ask yourself questions to help you figure out what you need or what you desire. But then once you have it, you can read it. You can also record it and play it back and listen to it. So you're really, those are some of the different ways that you can actually start to live that vision even faster. So I told you I was going to give you that. Okay, so another question you could say is, are you thinking or are you knowing? So if you're trying to figure out your business and what you should do and who you should try to serve, is it all in your mind, or is it something you just know inside you, that you're meant to do? So really listen to that. If there's something you know that you're supposed to do, that's never going to go away. So listen to that and start creating your business around that. Okay, and then you want to see it, feel it, and sense it. In my passion and purpose sessions, I do a guided visualization, and I ask my clients to see their future. I guide them through it. But some people have a hard time visualizing. And so, you want to think about, like, if you can't see it specifically, can you feel it? Can you sense it? Can you hear something? That's important too. So, know yourself and know how you receive answers and how you connect, but listen to those and trust yourself. And don't stress about things that don't work. Just do what has worked for you in the past. And again, just trust yourself on that. And a little extra bonus tip is, when you're trying to visualize, keep movement in your image so it lasts longer. If you're just trying to picture something physical, your phone sitting on the desk or something, imagine you're going over to the phone, picking it up, dialing the numbers and things like that, so that you can actually keep the movement. Will help you to hold on to that vision longer. Just a little bonus tip there. Okay, and I've also found that moving in exercise is a great way to hold the vision as well. I love to exercise and think about my goals. I have my little Post-it notes to motivate me, things like that. And so I love to picture myself in the future and, actually achieving things. Like early in the morning, I like to visualize the day and accomplishing things. And that really helps me to get moving. But also I feel it and emotionalize it, energy moving in the body and creating feeling in the body. So just a little extra tip there as well. All right, so let me check in and see if there's any questions in the chat. I don't see any. Oh, there is something. Hey, Brenda. All right. I love it. Great ideas and questions to narrow down focus to create what we want. Thank you. Hey, Melinda's still in there. Deb. Thanks, guys. I didn't know you were there, so I love it. I love it. Thanks for your comments there in the chat. So I'm going to cover tip number 2, which is planning. So now you have your vision and you started to look at your calendar. So I want you to focus on, this goes for all your life, but I want, specifically we'll kind of think about your business today. But you can do this for any areas, and I want to show you or explain to you what you can do. So something I use is blank calendars, 2 actually different types. And then I like to have the full out year calendar. Hopefully you can see that. And then I like to have a weekly one as well. So I'll show you a little bit. Mine's all pencil and scratched up, but that's okay. I'm not formal. To me, it's so much easier to actually get things implemented if I just use my, pencil and notebook or things like that. So, don't feel like you have to be fancy, to create your goals and your vision. But this is like, I do blocks and circles and times on a weekly calendar as well. So those are 2 that I suggest, if you're wondering where to start and how to plan. I like to start with the weekly one and kind of think about my morning routine. So blocking off, like meditation and working out, things like that. And then really thinking of anything that is, well, first on my year one, sorry, I skipped a little bit there. I know. Okay. On my year one though, I want to block off all my vacation. That's going to be first is, birthdays, holidays, special events. If you have kids, certain things that maybe, you do every year, those kinds of things, block off those first. It doesn't matter as long as it's important to you. You decide for yourself. And then, maybe you enjoy working out, maybe you go to church, those types of things that are more, scheduled, fixed meetings and fixed courses, that don't change, you want to move to those and put those on there as well. So this is a great time too, like as you're doing this, to verify if you still want those things in your life. So, you don't have to have everything. You don't have to, do the things you used to do just because you did them. So make sure that you're really thinking about, that future vision, where you want to go, the kind of person you want to be, the kind of businesswoman you want to be, and just think, do I still need this? Do I still want it? Is it still valuable of my time? And so, so start with those though. Anything that is, put that on there. And then maybe in the chat, if you want to share, what other activities do you tend to schedule in your life? What are some things that come up for you that maybe you're trying to find time for, or is something that's really important to you all the time? Is there anything that comes up for you? I'm not seeing anything yet. I know for me, like I mentioned, working out is really important, especially as I changed my schedule. Every time you change, if you move, if you change a job, or something changes in your life, you want to make sure that you're reevaluating your schedule and where you're spending your time as well. So specifically for your business, what kinds of things do you have on there? Do you have networking? Do you have times for trainings? Do you have times to create your courses? Maybe times for social media or content writing? Those kinds of things, right? So your clients, networking, writing, course creation, training. Those are some of the main ones that I know I put on there. But if you have other ideas, feel free to add those in the chat as well. And a tip is to actually put them in order of importance. So those first things that are really important, your clients are really important. You want to make sure you're serving them. Other, income generating activities, you want to make sure that you're doing those in order of importance, and scheduling time for all those different things on that. Again, I use that weekly little calendar to help me. It just goes from like 6 to 11 during the day. And I use both of these in addition to a planner. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. I still have my planner with each day that I'm scheduling appointments and what's going on. But these are just giving me the bigger vision of, so I know what I want to create for my program and where I have the time. Okay, so think about when you're putting the activities in there, order of importance, what gives you the most value, what gives you the most return. I mentioned exercise. At first, especially if I haven't done it in a while, it might take more energy to get into it. But then later, as I'm doing it, it gives me more energy, so that's something really important to me. Sleep, that's really important to me. That gives me, I'm the kind of person, I need my sleep for sure. And but when I do, then I wake up and, I've got tons of energy, and, I don't have coffee or anything like that right now. I'm just like, this is just energy. So, think about what gives you the most return. So, maybe it's a relationship, and that love, maybe that gives you that return. Anything that gives you the energy, using your gifts, to me, that's something that really helps you to receive that energy. Something else I learned that I didn't even know when I was younger, I hated to read. And now I know you'd probably be surprised because I have all these books, but I hated it. And then when I was older, I learned that actually sitting and reading and giving myself time to rest and, rest my body, but my mind was still working, that really recharged me. And so learning what things you can do to help you to recharge. And I actually have a workshop on that's also included in the Big Bold Business, where we'll go over creating those things, like a list of things that help you to get that energy. Okay, and so here's the bonus tip I told you I would give you. So it seems counterintuitive, but adding something to your schedule will actually give you more time. And that is planning a time to plan. So if you add it in your schedule, I know a lot of people, especially when I'm working with them at first, they're like, I don't have time. I'm here, here, here. But if you actually stop, give yourself a time to actually plan for the week, for the month, for the year, even for the day. In the morning, I like to look over what do I want to accomplish today? What are the results I want to achieve? That helps me to focus on less things when there's so many different things going on. So just asking that question, what results do I want today? What do I want to create today? Things like that. And then just having that on a Post-it note. and really just focusing on that. I get distracted. I love people. I love to talk and do all these things, but then, I can look back to my little Post-it note and I'm like, nope, that's what I'm working on. So today, even here, I have creating your vision, planning your year, and upgrading your habits, which is what I told you, I would talk about. And so that just helps me to continue to focus. And so hopefully that will help you as well, especially if you're feeling, overwhelmed and you don't know where to start. So also I want to mention, especially for newer business owners, in October, I'm planning for the next year. And so I'm, creating that vision. I do a vision board. The past few years I've done mine digitally, but I have done, actual physical ones as well. But you want to be thinking about, your goals for the next year and doing that ahead of time and putting those things in your calendar. Now, that doesn't mean that last year I had a plan and a lot of those things I've accomplished, but some of it, I moved to the next piece and I needed more, right? So it doesn't mean that you can't continue to grow or do the next thing, but it'll get you started, especially if you are just focusing on a few things, then you can build those up, and so then you can create that next vision as you start to actually achieve the goals that you're working on. Okay, so that's a lot. I know. Wow, right? So you have all of that. And then you want to remember those client questions that I talked about. So looking at your calendar, and then when do you have time? So you've put all those important things in there. And then, hopefully you've blocked out some of those client times and you can start to see where you can add a program. If you're doing a course, maybe it's a 5-week course versus, a year-long program, you'll start to see where those times are. And it kind of, it just kind of guide you right to what you need. So think about, again, what you want, when you want to accomplish by, going backwards so that you can make sure that you're finishing it, thinking about holidays and other things when people kind of check out a little bit and, they're not so focused on their business and their goals and things. They're more focused on family and celebrating and things like that. Okay. So, once you can see those client blocks, that will help you, and you'll be able to see that clearer vision, and that will help you to create your offer. So I know there's a lot more with the offer. I'm not going to cover like all of that, but I did want to help you just to kind of get started on the planning piece of how you can start to see where you can fill in your offer. Okay, so are you loving this? Are you learning? Are you seeing how you can, you don't have to overcomplicate it. It can be simple, and how this is important before you're actually writing down those goals. You want to have that vision. You want to see your time and your calendar, where you're spending your time. And it can be more fun and exciting. I know when I did my most recent one, it looked so different than what it looked like a year ago. And I was like, oh, this is fun and exciting. And, I'm ready. And that motivated me even more to move even faster. And so, you're designing and creating something. It should be fun. You should look forward to it. And, it'll help you to have more time with your clients and teach them and serve them the best, right? And so taking that time to plan and schedule actually frees up that time like magic. So all right, let me check if there's any questions before I move to upgrading your habit. Oh, lots of comments now. Okay, so I love it. You're welcome, Deb. Thank you. Networking in person and virtually. Aw, thanks, Melinda. She says she loves my energy. Thank you. And she also says she ensures time with family and friends, and even, oh yeah, like downtime. Absolutely. To recharge, watch a movie. Yeah. Movies, I found, for me personally, has been like the emotional piece, like that I need to recharge. Like that's how I connect and know what I'm feeling. So, it's not just like, oh, you're lazy watching a movie. I'm like that helps me to know where I'm at. So I love that. And time to go outside. Yes. And play with the dogs. Very good. I love it. All right. Thanks for those comments. So I'm moving on to number 3, which is upgrading your habits. So this is even better. So, I talked about making time for your habits. And so I just want to make sure that you're thinking, we all have habits, current habits right now. And so some you might like and some you might want to change, but you have them either way. And so your new vision, I want you to start thinking about the habits that you do want to take with you. What's your ideal routine? What does that look like? And then scheduling that. So, do you have a morning and evening routine currently? And then, maybe in the chat, you could let me know what it is that you want to add to your life. Is there something that you've been thinking about that you need to add? I used to think a routine sounded boring, right? It's like, oh, the same thing, because I love variety. I told you. So, but I actually do love having a routine, or at least knowing the same things that I'm going to accomplish in the morning. Sometimes I do them in a different order, but I do what works for me and what I feel like. I'm definitely like go with the flow, like feel kind of person. But at the same time, I make sure I am doing those top things, in the morning. And making sure I'm writing, because writing is one of my greatest gifts. And so I wanted to add that. I wasn't doing it as much as I should have been. And so making sure that I was adding writing in the morning and doing that, because again, that's my greatest gift. Then I need to do that and make sure it's done first thing, and so that's something that I do. And then exercise, as I mentioned a few times, that just helps me so much to focus. And, again, I'm using my mind to visualize my day. And so I really love it, because it helps me to plan. And so, again, maybe sometimes I do them maybe a little bit out of order. I kind of was thinking earlier, I'm like, the things I love, it's like, my imagination, the writing, my exercise, which is like perspiration. I'm like, okay, you got imagination and perspiration. I'm like, then I hydrate. I'm like, I'm either drinking water, tea. I got my smoothie here, lotion, shower, things like that. I'm like, it's all like hydration in the morning. And so, those are things that I love. And then, meditation. And so those are the things that I add. But, think about what it is you want. And again, not just because, I said it, and not because somebody else said it, or you read it on a blog or something, but because it's what you want to add to your life, because it makes sense for you. And so, thinking of that. Thank you, Brenda. Yes, I'm excited about this course as well. I really am. I think there's so much support to offer. So thank you so much for that, Brenda. All right, so so after you think about what you want to add in your life, make sure that you're adding that to your schedule and putting it on the calendar, just like you would any other appointment. That really helps you to stay accountable. And then you can write out your plan. Like if, for me, writing a book, like I can break down the pieces of what I want to write. I can break that down into different days, so I know what to focus on. My exercise, I can say, okay, this day I'm doing, 45 minutes of this, maybe another day I'm doing Pilates, maybe another day I'm walking. I can, put whatever it is on the calendar. And so I know to follow that. And I can do it once on my planning day, think out what I want to do, and then it's done. And I don't have to think, I just get up and do it. Okay. So that, again, I used to think was boring, but it really gives me more freedom. It clears my mind. I'm just thinking once about what I want to do, and then I'm just going with it and implementing. So it gives me more time to use my mind for creating and solving problems instead. And so, yes, you probably hear it takes time to build new habits, but it's not usually as long as you think. I've worked with so many people that we start from the beginning, and one of the biggest things that my clients tend to start with is drinking water. And like we might be doing business stuff, but there's always like the other things in these routines and habits that will help them, so they want to start with those things. And something that you've already done in the past is not usually as hard to get going. It's just kind of like you just need to start. And then, before you know it, in a few weeks, they're doing all these things that they were doing again. And so, I just want to share like that automation of the habit. Yes, I know scientifically it's proven and it takes time. But initiation of the habit doesn't take any time. You could choose something today, and maybe you want to do push-ups, and you could get down and you could do one push-up, and you don't have to do 100, but you could start that today, right? And so there's, thinking of like initiating as opposed to like having it be automated, and not feeling like, oh, I have to wait, and I know that the numbers change on the studies, so I won't give you an exact number, but there's a time amount that we hear, and it's like, oh, it takes this many days. Well, it only takes 1 day to get it started. That's today. So anything that you want to start, you can start. Just break it down really, really small, and just start initiating that habit. Okay, so I find I mentioned that about the habits, that it's like, once you do start it, especially if it's something you did in the past, like, oh, I want to start working out again. Well, maybe you did that before, or I used to, always connect with my clients, but I haven't called them in a while. For me, it was the email. I was like, oh, I really want to start my email list. I haven't done it in so long. And then once I did it, I'm like, oh, okay, now I got it, right? Like I can do it. And so it's a lot of times it's just that one time thing to kind of get you going again. So have a plan of how you want it to go. And then if it's in the planner, you can make it a habit to check with your schedule. And that's the biggest, habit I think that the most important one to create is to be checking with your planner and your schedule so that you know what you are doing. And, start small and with what's the most important. So that'll give you the most return. And then you can build on the other ones over time. So another tip is just the more time that I spend on planning and the more routine I am, I kind of mentioned this, I guess, a little bit earlier, is that really that's the more time that I find that I have. So, my mom always says, like, I don't know how you do all these things, but like, it's really just, planning that's how, and breaking things down. And then you can add more and more things. And so, since I shared I'm all about using gifts and fulfilling your purpose, I recommend that you determine what your greatest gifts are and make sure that you schedule time for those. They'll also fill you up. They'll give you energy if you're using them. If it's writing, painting, teaching, designing, just determine what it is and put it in your calendar. And Melinda had mentioned some earlier about like going outside or playing with the dogs or, those different things. Like make sure that you do put time for that and make it a priority, especially your gifts, because that's how you're going to serve your clients as well. So, all right. I love it. Thank you for the comments in the chat. I appreciate that. And if there's any questions, let me know, but I want to just kind of recap. So you learned the questions that you can ask to help create a vision. And then you discovered how to use your calendar to put the most important activities into your schedule first to help you be the most productive and plan your business activities. And how your morning routine and for me, it's meditation, exercise, and using my greatest gift, how those things can help you to be more productive. And then I revealed the best way I found to save more time is to actually add something, which is planning time in your schedule to plan. And you learn to solve the feeling of being alone. I mentioned being a solopreneur and doing everything by yourself, but having that community is what really helped me to be able to actually implement and have that support so that I could actually take all the learning that I was getting from all these trainings and actually implement it. So those are the things I wanted to share with you. And I want to thank you for staying through this training. And, now I mentioned that I would share an offer. So you have a choice. You can either take what you learned today and apply it by yourself, or you can let me help you to master your business and make the income and impact that you desire so that you can have the time freedom and the financial independence that I know you're desiring. So as I promised, I'm going to tell you about Big Bold Business. And I know I mentioned it a few times. And Brenda, I thank you for sharing that you appreciate this. What it will do for you is help you to create your vision and your business goals without the overwhelm of doing it by yourself. You'll be guided step by step to create your products and programs. And what that means is you'll have more time freedom and you'll be able to stop wondering what to do and when to do it and if it'll work. And so here's how it works. You'll learn new lessons to help your business every month. So there's one new lesson training on live like this where it will be through Zoom. So you'll be able to see me and interact with me, and I'll be able to see you and interact with you as well. And you'll also get one live Q&A session a month. So in addition to the training session, you'll also get the Q&A where you can ask questions and you can learn from others who are asking their questions as well, which means you'll not only gain the business knowledge, but then you won't be alone. You'll be learning from others and you'll have somebody to ask. You won't just be sitting home with the information. And so you'll actually be able to be implementing and be active and interactive. In addition, I've scheduled some implementation sessions. And so each quarter, you'll be able to stay on track with the material and actually be implementing. So I've designed it so you can actually come onto the Zoom. You could either be in the large group, like a co-working space where you can just work on your own, but with other people around, or you can go into a breakout session that has, maybe something you're working on. Maybe you're working on your USP, or you're working on, your 30-second promo, or, you're working on your website, or, whatever it may be. And then you can go into a breakout with other people, in the program to work interactively if that works better for you. So you have the option. But the thing is, either way, you're not alone. You have the time scheduled on your calendar to actually be putting the trainings together. And again, you're not alone. You have that accountability and the time scheduled, so you're supported. And I've also included some ideation sessions. So you'll have tons of ideas to draw from. That's one of my favorite things, is ideas. I don't know, I just love to generate ideas. And, I do a business coaching, networking. And even in that, I share ideas all the time, like with the women who come on there. And, that's just one of my favorite things to give. So I've included those as well, so that you'll have ideas to draw from and never feel, stuck. And you'll just have like a whole bunch, like a big brainstorm. So, and so part one I mentioned is the training. So we'll cover visions, goals, planning, clients, products, scheduling, branding, marketing, testimony, networking, systems, and follow-up as well. So I'll show you, each step of those, which means you'll gain the business knowledge you need, and you'll be able to stop wondering what to do. And imagine all those pieces coming together, understanding what you're learning and knowing how to do it, and you won't have to second guess anymore. And by the end of the trainings, you'll also have the confidence, in creating this business plan. So the second part I mentioned was Q&A. So I'll be able to answer your questions. And that's exciting because you'll have someone to turn to when you need help. You'll be able to hear different ways that people are solving their problems. And we all learn differently. So some things will just start to click with you, and you'll resonate with maybe a different member and how they're solving it. And so that solves the problem of your doubt and fear. You'll be able to move forward more confidently and know where to turn when you have a question. So another piece I mentioned was the implementation session. And so that means you'll be able to take all the knowledge you learn and start making progress. You'll be able to solve the big challenges that you have and, stop staring at a blank page. You'll be able to actually, start moving forward, which I think is the biggest piece, of this, is actually the implementation of it. So, you'll be able to work, and by the end of the session, you'll have some progress. You'll be able to share and move forward. Okay. And then the ideation sessions means that you will not only be able to help others with their business, but you'll be filled with ideas that you can use to practice and solving your own business problems. So you'll get better at it. And this solves how that you can, think of things in a different way, and you'll have different ideas to draw from. So, imagine that you're home alone trying to figure something out, and then all of a sudden, you think of somebody that's on your training, and then how she had the same problem, and what did she do? What did the people suggest? And which is best for you. And you'll also be able to go back to that training because you'll have the recordings. So you'll be able to do that. And then there's a live, a private LinkedIn community as well. So you'll be able to hop on there and see if, post your question or problem, and, see if anybody in the community has the same problem. You could work together, or maybe somebody already solved that problem. They could give you some ideas. So lots of support in this. That's the idea, is I want you to feel supported and not alone when you're trying to reach your goals. Okay, so lots of different things. So that's why I think this is really unique, is, most courses that I've seen, you're getting the teaching part of it. You're getting the direction and the information, but you're not really getting the process to complete the learning. And so for this, it means you're taking action. You have that accountability. I've also added some accountability and networking sessions as well. I added a ton of things to this. So I know it might seem like a lot, because it really is. And but it means you'll start seeing results, and you'll build your confidence in yourself and your connections, the people that I'm able to bring together, you'll be able to meet, and they'll be part of your network, and you can help each other grow in different ways. And then your impact will increase. And I know that's what you really want. So just imagine that all your knowledge and skills and experience are increasing. You're making friends, and they have similar interests to you. You have a place to turn and ask questions, and then you can solve your questions, the bigger questions, in the Q&A. And then you don't have to worry about, wondering what to do, where to go, who to turn to. You'll have everything, that I can imagine that you need right there. And if there isn't something, you can always ask so that I can help you, to bring it to you and create it, because I really do want the women that I work with to succeed and reach their goals. My passion is to help you, to help others in the world, so I'm not just helping you, but it's going beyond that. And so that we really can make a difference, on a global impact as well. So, you're going to see results. You'll hear your language changing, you're building confidence, and you'll feel supported. And so, having that team of people cheering you on as you reach your goals means that, you'll always have someone there to hold your hand and kind of walk you through when you need it. It doesn't mean you have to have that, you just find what's right for you, the right support. Everyone's different. And so it just means no more struggling and feeling alone and wondering what steps to take, and being able to reach your goals faster and easier. So the value of this product is $5,497. You're getting 12 trainings once a month, 12 Q&As, again, once a month. So that's 2 trainings right there. You're getting the 4 implementation sessions, 3 ideation sessions, the accountability event, the networking event, plus you're getting one-on-one help from me. And there's some bonus as well. I'm including 4 workshops, 2 live events, and I have 3 trainers in there, but I'm going to have at least 6 already that I know of. So you're going to get additional training as a bonus as well. So even though the value is $5,497, that's not what you have to invest today. It is my way of saying thank you for attending this live training, but also for being one of the founding members of my new program and supporting me to help other women as well. I'm giving a phenomenal deal here. And if you act now, you can also get you'll get access right away to the community, the Big Bold Business live community, and you can get started right now for only $497. So you're saving over $5,000, plus you're getting those bonuses as well. So I'm going to share the link in the chat so you can take a look and look it over and see if you have any questions. You can let me know as well. And again, whoops, this is just, it's not going to be this low forever. This is just a getting started. Thank you for joining. And so let me kind of just recap as well. Give me 1 second. Close that out. Okay. So again, you're getting instant access. You'll get the 4 workshops. There's gratitude and grace, rights and rituals, mood and mindset, and the vision board workshop. So 4 different workshops. Alone right there. That's usually, that's 500 right there. So in addition, you're getting a whole year of support, all the other things that I mentioned. So this will not only help you feel more supported holistically, you're getting all the things where I talked about, we'll add what habits you can do to create more in your life. And, I talked about the planning, all the things that I went over today will go in much, much deeper. And it's a whole year of support. So I mentioned the live events. I didn't tell you about them though. You can actually, get to network and get to know members and have fun and celebrate. I love fun. I love celebration. So I decided to include 2 events. One is going to be a holiday event. So at the end of the year, celebrating all your successes and, being able to share and just kind of let go and have fun. And so we're going to, do some different activities and, music and things like that. Would be a lot of fun. And then about, half of the year later, so I've got it spread out, is my birthday. And I love to celebrate my birthday. So I'm going to celebrate it with you, but it'll feel like your birthday, and we'll do some, giveaways and things like that. And it'll be lots of fun. Just another way to, network, meet people, really go a little bit deeper in the community and, get to know people that way, and then just have some fun too. So I'm including those 2 events as well. So this is crazy. So everything you're getting, the Big Bold Business, the trainings, the implementation, the Q&As, the ideation, the bonuses with the 4 workshops, you're getting the 2 live events, and you're getting some of my very favorite people who are going to help train on their content. We've got websites, networking, financial information, all different experts that will help you along the way as well in their expertise. So you get access to my network of people that are going to help support you as well. So I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time, just so you can act now. Again, this won't be this low for long, so you don't have to decide now. That's the other thing. You have a 30-day money back guarantee, so you don't have to make that decision. You can test it out, see what you think, and then if you decide it's not for you, you'll be able to just let me know, no questions asked. So just imagine that you have everything, all these, supports. I wish I had this when I was starting, 10 years ago. My goodness, I know for sure I would have been more successful faster, for sure. So thank you so much for joining me on this live event. I appreciate you. I trust that you learned about creating your vision, planning your year, and upgrading your habits. And I hope you're excited about, as I am, to get into the Big Bold business with $5,000 of savings. I'm going to add that link one last time in the cart. So last call for you, and putting it in there. So grab that link, check it out, read through it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, and my information's there, but I'll also add it in the chat. It's admin@kathleenwoodhouse.com. All right, and I'll see if there's any questions. I see some awesome. Thank you for the link. I love it, love it. You're welcome. Thank you all. I appreciate your support in there. Looks like lots of just thank yous and support. I don't see any specific questions, but I appreciate it so much. So again, reach out if you have any questions, and thank you for joining me on this live training. I'll see you in the Big Bold business and help you to reach your goals. So thank you so much, everyone.